Hey guys, what's up? I'm here again, and today I'm gonna show you three things that's related on how Max understand the 3D mesh and how Blender understand the 3D mesh, and why I think that the way that Blender understand the 3D mesh can be very handy as soon as you get used it with. The beginning can look like weird if you are used to whatever other 3D package out there, because they all looks that they work the same way, which is very industry standard, and it's a kind of the same way that Blender works also. But Blender has couple options that it makes your life easier in the way that understand the mesh. The second thing is instances, and the third thing is how you can draw objects attached to the main objects already, like while you are working in your, let's say, editable poly in Blender. Things, it's a thing that you cannot do here in 3D Max. So let's start it. Firstly, the way that Max understand the mesh is like very common. We know that the vertex, edge, the border, the polygon, and the element. They call element here in Blender. They call island, which makes sense. Both make sense, right? So here it's the polygon, vertex, right? It's connected. The vertex connects all the edge, right? And this is the difference, right? So you cannot, for example, if you try to extrude something from here, it's gonna be like this, right? Because Max logically understand that everything has to be connected all the time, right? If you try to and if you try to copy here, for some reason Max allows you to do that, but this guy here is pretty much useless, right? So you can't do anything that interesting with this. You just need to delete it, otherwise you're gonna have something extra in your scene. So you cannot copy this. You cannot take this and copy, an edge. You cannot copy that, right? It's impossible. Max doesn't allow that. And it makes sense, right? But here's the thing. Here's the guy I want to show you. In Blender, it works the same way, right? You press tab, you go to your edit mode, so you have your vertex, you have your edge, and you have your polygon, right? Vertex, edge, polygon, right? Where's the element? The element in Blender is L. You just need to put your mouse on top of the object, press L and select the entire element. Shift L, you deselect everything, right? Or you just press outside and you deselect everything, right? Yeah, but what I really want to show you is this. In Blender, you can literally copy the entity edge, you know you can literally copy the entity vertex. But why? What is the reason I want to do that? This look like a very weird mesh, and it can be for Blender. It can be, right, for Max users. It can be, and it can be very confusing. So that's why sometimes if you are in Blender and you see this or something like that, don't get panic, right? You just need to select everything. I go here with my quick menus because I place it here already, but I think that the way you find this is you go to mesh cleanup, right? And then you are gonna probably delete loose, right? So it's gonna delete all the loose entities like edges or vertices that are not connected, and there's gonna be like, it's gonna make the cleanup of your mesh, right? But anyways, let's say, right, you have this guy here. Why this is useful? This is very useful because you can from here extrude, right? You can extrude, right? And you can keep going, right? And in Blender you don't need to press, for example, you don't need to go to vertex, you don't need to go to even polygon to select just the polygon, right? If you are in the vertex mode and you select all the vertices that close a polygon, it's a polygon already. So you don't need to go to the polygon. From here you can go extruding. From here you can go extruding. You don't need to keep switching from edge poly, and element all the time to make your mesh like keep working. You can from here you delete. You know, you want to cap. You want to cap this. You select everything. Press F. You cap. Things like this. And this thing that Blender does, like understanding each entity as a different thing that you can really split it up. It can be very, very good. It can be very, very good. For example, one simple example, right? If you copy this guy here, let's say that, right? And you, for example, does I don't know, you extrude here, right? And then you does something like this, right? Let's say that. Then you take this guy. You can extrude here, or if you don't extrude, if you just copy again, you have, oh my goodness, what I'm doing? I'm messing around with my thing. No, you're not messing around with anything, right? So because you can take this guy, press F, and keep pressing F, and it's gonna fill in up the entire thing for you automatically, and you have something else totally different here. Press L, select all the elements, E, and then you keep going, right? You keep going. You don't need to really think that much about. You can from here just bring it here again, right? Bring it here, right? And then you do this, and then you extrude, right? It's easy modeling, right? That's one thing, the way the Blender interprets the mesh. See, if for a reason you have this here, or you have this here, right? Things like that in your mesh, like crazy things, you just select everything, go here to mesh, and then you clean up, and then you delete loose. I included this on my quick menu also, so I just press Q, delete loose, right? Delete loose, and it's gonna delete everything, right? Easy, straightforward. This is powerful. I'm gonna delete this, and I'm gonna show you the next thing. The next thing is instances. Okay, instances, right? Blender, let's say, Max, let's say, if you copy an object as an instance, right, you can go here, and whatever you change here is gonna change the other one automatically. It's an instance, right? So this is the object. Box 2, box 1, both objects, right? Okay, to make this unique, you go here, right? Then this, have this, right? Let's say that you create a sphere, right? There's no instances here anymore, right? How can I make this an instance of this? Or how can I make this back as an instance of this? You can't. After a couple Control Z, and you have to have after a couple undo things, you cannot do that anymore. Right, let's say now in Blender, let's say you copy this as an instance, right? So whatever you are doing here, you're going to be doing everywhere, right? Whatever you do here, it's going to be doing in the instance, right? Also, so that's amazing, right? Whatever you do, it's going to be an instance, right? But let's say you make this guy, so you have the same thing in Max, right? You have box 1, box 2. Here you have cube 1 and cube, right? And as soon as you keep copying as an instance, you keep changing cube 2, cube 1, cube, From now, it's the same as Max, right? But the difference is that in Blender, you have access to your mesh, which is here. This is the object symbol, and this is the mesh. So you go here, you have access of your mesh, things that I don't know how to access in Max. I don't know anyone that access that. And that's why as soon as you make it make the instance unique, you lose the instance. It's not an instance anymore, and I don't know how to get back. I don't know. Maybe someone can reach out the comments and tell me that it's possible in Max. But the thing is, in Blender it's easy. It's default. You have access to your mesh. So basically, I have 3 objects instances in my scene. To make this unique, press here, make it unique. It's not an instance anymore, right? I can do whatever here, and this is not an instance anymore. But the difference, these always can get back to this, because the mesh itself for both are mesh cube 5. Cube 5, right? Even if the object change the name, 1, 2, oh, cube 1, cube 2, the object change the name, but the mesh is the same in these two guys, because they are the same representation of a polygons, right? It is easy to change this and then make this as an instance of this. I just go here. What's this mesh? Cube 6. I go here and then I put this cube 6. That's all. Now we have the instance, right? If I want to make this guy this again, or this guy this, I just go here and make it cube 5, right? So it's an instance again. Easy peasy, my friend. This is very handy. It means that you always can go back and forth in your instances all the time, right? Of course, if you scale this up, right? If you scale this up and you take this and put this as an instance, this is gonna be this at this size, right? Of course. But yeah, this is very handy. This is the other thing that I want to show you. And the last thing is this. In Max, for example, if I want to add a sphere or a donut here at the same object, right? At the same object, I'm go here, I'm edit poly, and then I want to add a donut or add a sphere or something, right? I have to go outside, add table poly, right? Create my donut, right? Create my donut. I don't know, I'm gonna my torus in this case, right? I create my torus here, radius, I have my torus, right? And let's say I create this sphere, and then I go here, back to this guy, add table poly, look for attach, and then I go here, attach and attach. Now I have all of them into the same mesh, right? That's the way we do in Max. And in Blender, let's say we have a cube, right? We are in the edit mode. The same access you have to create your basic geometry, you have the same access on inside your object already. So if you go here and you create your torus, it's already here in the same geometry. You don't need to attach anything. If you want to create a sphere, you just create a sphere. You know, it's here. All of them is here in the same object, right? In the same thing. You don't need to worry about that, right? That's very handy. If you want to detach, you just select everything, press P, detach. No? If you want to attach all of them, you select everything, Ctrl G, is attached. That's it. That's all. Don't need to go here, attach, detach. You know, these few times can be very boring, to be honest, right? Okay, that's the 3 things that I would like to show you today. Till next time, see you. Bye bye.